What is going on, my broskiis? My name is Toadski and I'm back again, here to bring you guys yet another One Piece treasure cruise video. And in today's video I'm going to be showing you guys all of my three teams, the Driven, the Striker and the Free Spirit teams that I used in order to farm the Neo Clash Bellamy. Now when this actually went live initially, I was still in Japan, so it's taken some time for me to record these clips for you guys, but hopefully you guys do go on to enjoy the video. Remember that these are the teams that I used in order to farm it. They're not going to be the teams that everyone is going to have in order to farm it, but this is what I found for me personally to be pretty effective, so hopefully you guys still go on to enjoy the video. But first off, we are going to be breaking down this specific Neo Clash unit and just compare between the new Clash and the older Clash and see what's actually different between the units themselves, and then we'll go into each of the clips separately, so hopefully you guys do go on to enjoy the video. But without further ado, let's get straight into it. So for those of you guys out there that need a refresher on what Raid Bellamy does, this specific one that we're going to be going over is the Neo version, so he is slightly different from the regular Raid version. But this specific unit is going to be a strength fighter driven type character and at max level at level 99. He has 2014 health, 1320 attack, and 308 recovery. Now the difference in stats between this guy and the previous quick raid boss unit is the fact that the Neo unit, this specific one you're seeing on screen right now, has a little bit less HP and a little bit less recovery, but he has slightly more attack. So it really does depend on what kind of team you're running, whether you need a strength or a quick unit in particular, but that's the main difference, is that the raid one has a little bit less attack, whereas the Neo one has a little bit more attack, and also the fact that this Neo Clash unit also has an extra socket spot, which is actually pretty big. With the Neo Clash units, a lot of them seem to be getting an extra socket compared to their older versions, which is actually super useful, allowing you to run a lot more sockets on your team, which overall makes your teams better. So having these new units with extra sockets is so good, but that's not the only reason why Neo units are just really good. The main reason why Neo Clash events are so amazing is because of the rewards that you get for completing the 15 runs or the 30 runs or the 20 runs, whatever the limit is. Completing those and getting those amazing rewards is going to overall increase your account potential just immensely because of all those universal books, the socket tomes, the candy. You get so much good stuff from these events, so it's definitely worth farming it because you also get a really cool unit out of it as well. So let's go ahead and just overview his abilities once again. So his captain ability will boost the attack of Driven by 2.5, pretty decent captain ability. He doesn't have a sailor ability, and his special ability, which maxes at 14 turns, whereas the original quick raid boss maxes at 15 turns. This guy will go ahead and cut the current HP of one enemy by 10%, and then makes Psi and Int orbs beneficial for one turn, and amplifies orb effects by 1.75 for one turn. So he's a very good unit, especially if you don't have many good orb boosters for driven teams or for fighter teams in particular. This guy's really strong for that, and he's got like a reasonable cooldown as well. So overall, a pretty solid unit. I wouldn't say he's the best Neo Clash unit in the game, but still a very solid unit overall, and can help out in a lot of different situations. But now that we've gone ahead and overviewed this character and compared him to his previous version, let's go ahead and get straight into the three teams against Neo Clash Bellamy. So the first team that we're going to be overviewing is going to be the Driven dungeon. Now this, for me personally, was the most difficult one for me to complete. I did try a Cavendish team, but I just really couldn't get the damage output that I was hoping for. I am lacking a couple of good Dex Driven units, so that didn't really help out too much. But this team in particular did seem to work. It is definitely not the most optimal team in order to beat Neo Clash Bellamy. If I had to choose a more optimal team, I think Akainu would be the best team on Global that would be able to beat Neo Clash Bellamy. But let's go ahead and just talk about the dungeon itself. So the Driven dungeon, like with most other Neo raids, the first 4 stages are literally the same, like across the board. There might be some color differences in units between this raid and the regular raid, but for the most part, stages 1 to 4 are literally the exact same as the regular Clash event. But the main difference comes when you reach the final stage, stage 5. So let's talk about the Driven variation here. So the Driven dungeon has a 2.1 million health boss, and he'll attack for 5,252 damage on a 1-turn cooldown. His preemptive attack will go ahead and cut your HP in half, and then will randomly convert all your orbs into either yellow or red orbs, and he also will apply a delay protector for 99 turns, and also will go ahead and despair your ship for 2 turns, and then he also goes ahead and changes his own color into quick, because remember, this Neo Clash Bellamy is a strength unit, so for the driven variation, he actually reverts back to his quick form for the first turn. So that is something to note, that, you know, usually with the other, you know, stages of the Neo Clash Bellamy, you'd want to be running more of a quick-based team to take down the strength boss, but because this Bellamy turns into quick for 1 turn, you mainly want to be running a dex-based team to help take him out on that first turn, or you could go ahead and just wait until he reverts back to his strength form to then go ahead and burst him down from there. That can also work as well. Under 30%, he'll blow away a random sub-unit, so make sure not to get him under 30%, and every time you activate an attack boost, he'll go ahead and deal 2,000 damage to your crew, and he also will have, you know, a whole bunch of these fodder characters around him, but the good thing is that Raid Boss Shiki's special ability can actually clear out all of the surrounding fodder characters, so that is probably the most needed unit on the driven-based team, just because he just clears out the room with his special ability alone, which is super useful. But this has been my driven team, and then I'll see you guys in the next team variation. The next team that we're going to be talking about is going to be the Striker team. So in this team here, I am using a double quick lore team with a Kuzan sub, because Kuzan is actually kind of useful. So you don't have to have Kuzan yourself, but maybe bringing a Kuzan friend captain can actually be pretty useful in this specific dungeon, because the main gimmick of this specific variation is the fact that you cannot activate any attack or orb boost on the final stage, because what will happen is that when you do that, any attack or orb boost that is activated, he will clear all debuffs or buffs. So the main thing here is to actually activate your 2-turn orb or 2-turn type boost on stage 4, and then use Legend Kuzan to extend that duration to become a 3-turn boost, which will actually go through the preemptive attack of the stage 5 Bellamy, and then you can have your type or orb boost to take him down in a single turn. So if you guys didn't really understand what I just explained there, just hold up and you'll see exactly how it works here. With this specific team, I didn't really need that much of a powerful boost, so I'm just bringing the Fortnite Kaku, who provides a 1.5 orb boost for 2 turns, and then extending it with the Kuzan. Similar to the other stages before, he will go ahead and change all the orbs into Psi and Strength, so Colosseum Conjurer will change all those orbs into matching orbs for our Striker characters, and he also has 2.5 million health, so you need to make sure you have a team that can take down that. If you guys have Neko Mamushi, you're going to be finding this pretty easily. Neko Mamushi will make it so that all the orbs that he gives you will be counting as matching, so you don't even need Colosseum Conjurer. If you do have Neko, you could use a Neko friend captain and not have to worry about the Colosseum Conjurer. And anytime you activate an attack or orb boost when he clears it, he also will deal 2,000 damage to your crew like before, and he'll also blow away a random sub-unit when he gets below 30%. So there are definitely some similarities between his regular form and the Neo forms and all of their variations, but there are some slight differences that you guys do need to take note of. And in this variation as well, there are no surrounding mob characters, which does make it a little bit easier to actually take him down. But that is the variation of the Striker team, and now we'll see you guys in the final team, which is going to be against the Free Spirit variation against Neo Clash Bellamy. And now we've made it to the final variation, so I'm going to be using everyone's favorite time skip Luffy team. Now, one big thing about the Free Spirit variation, the big gimmick here, is the fact that when you enter the final room, what Bellamy does is he makes it so that any unit that isn't quick will have their special sealed for 99 turns. So basically, you pretty much have to bring quick units only to make this specific variation very easily. Time-Skip Luffy does the job really well. Colosseum Apu is awesome for your type booster, and he's on a really low cooldown. Same with your Capone. Capone is super good because like the other units, like the other variations, they will actually go ahead and change your orbs to strength and psi. Time-Skip Luffy special makes the psi matching. Capone changes strength into quick. So with Capone and your Time-Skip Luffys, you get a full board of matching orbs. I have Neptune in the team specifically for stage 4 because taking down that Dex mob character can be quite annoying. So that is literally the only reason why Neptune is here. You could literally replace Neptune with Colosseum Kinemon. He'd probably make your runs a whole lot faster than what I'm using. But this run was extremely quick. With this specific team, I was able to get 12 runs on the first day. Like, this was an insanely quick team. Worked super well. And he has 3.4 million health on this specific variation. So he has the most health on this variation, but with a friend Time-Skip Luffy, even if you don't have Time-Skip Luffy, this is probably going to be the easiest one for you guys to actually beat. But that is going to conclude this video, guys. Hopefully you have enjoyed today's video, and if you guys have enjoyed it, make sure to smack the like button down below. And if you want to stay up to date with all of the content I post on my channel, including more One Piece Treasure Cruise content, make sure to hit the subscribe button down below. But without further ado, I will see you guys within the next video.